Hi everybody, we're in downtown Independence today. So recently I found that there are 14 markers that are all around Independence that are part of the Mormon Walking Trail. And the City of Independence has a map. I'll put a link for that in the description box below. I've gotten pictures of all of them. And today I want to look at the two homes of Governor Boggs, the same one that ordered or signed the extermination order in 1838. He lived here in Independence, and I didn't know that until I found these markers. I just want to point this out. This is Polly's Pop. So this is a local soda company, and it's handcrafted soda, local, and you can find their soda just all around the Kansas City area in restaurants. So if you ever come here, just anywhere in the Kansas City area where they sell it, make sure to order some Polly's Pop. It's good. So right over there you can see the Jackson County Courthouse, just to give you some reference. If we kept walking the other direction, that would take us to the Temple Lot area. Well, actually not so much this street, we're on Maple Street, but if we went one street to the south, that's Lexington, and that's the road that the Temple Lot is on in the Community of Christ Temple. So it really isn't too much of a walk going from the Temple Lot to downtown Independence. And I just want to point that out because I would encourage you, next time you come here, take a look at the map. Don't just go to the Independence Visitor Center in the Temple Lot, but try and walk the Mormon Walking Trail. Now, I haven't done it myself yet. I plan on doing a video where we walk to all the 14 plaques, but it seems like it'll probably take a while to do. I'm estimating that it'll probably take, I don't know, somewhere between an hour to an hour and a half or something like that. So for right now, I'm just gonna video each one individually, or in this case we have the two that go together. But here we are at like the town square where you have the Jackson County Courthouse, and I want to point out that they're renovating this area. There's this big thing going on. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like, I think it's Imagine Independence 2040, where there's just this big initiative to renovate the city. And one of the newest additions is the sidewalks that are around this central square. They're brand new, and it looks really nice. It's been really frustrating because when we first moved here, they were closing down a lot of the sidewalks, and then there were different times when like this street right here was closed and the street on the other side, and it was kind of hard to get around. But it looks like they're all done with that at this point. So it's easy to, oh, it looks like we got some other social media influencers here. Hi guys, how are you?
Can I say out of your vlog?
Whoa.
What's up, guys?
Independence! So yeah, it's just nice now. Now you can easily drive around, walk around. There's one cone right there, but it's not blocking anything. And here's one of the markers. We're going to come back to that in another video. There's another couple markers that are over there on the other side of the courthouse, but we're coming down to this little corner of town over here. There's also all these like restaurants that you can eat at. I've only been to one. There's one over there Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's called the Courthouse Exchange. It's in that building right there, and like you go in and then it goes downstairs, and it's just a really cool atmosphere. I also want to check out this one right here, Three Trails. I think it's a brewery, but also, you know, a restaurant, like they are many times. What's this? Oh, okay, it's Ophelia's bench. All right, but it's just right down here. Oh, yeah, I also want to point out, everywhere you go in Independence, you have stuff for Harry S. Truman. It's just all over the place because this is where he's from. After his presidency, this is where he returned. There's a museum here, and there's also the Harry S. Truman Library, but his face is all over. And then this like silhouette of him right here, this is on a bunch of like street signs, like where you have like the name of the street, it'll have that to the left. But anyway, what we want to see is over here. Independence is also known for being the starting point for these three major trails. You got the Santa Fe Trail, California Trail, and Oregon Trail. So I don't know, Independence has a lot of history, including our own, and I really like this mural right here, Independence, Queen City of the Trails. And there you have Independence, and then going through Kansas, Nebraska, down to New Mexico. In the case of the Santa Fe Trail, there's Salt Lake, and then it looks like in Idaho, that's where either went up to Oregon or over to California. So anyway, you see a lot of that stuff all over the place too. Okay, but there's the marker, and you would never know that it's here unless you were looking for it, or if you had some reason to like walk over here. But here we go. This is marker number 11, Boggs home, Maple Street, lot 5. Site of the early home of Lilburn Boggs, merchant, state senator, and governor. Mormon Peter Whitmer Jr. operated a tailoring shop here in 1831. And this was put in place by Missouri Mormon Frontier Foundation. So I'm so happy that I found these markers. Oh, I should have thought about this before I started making the video, but it was one of the viewers of this channel that pointed it out. So you know who you are, thank you. But I'm so glad that you have these foundations that have done all this work to do these historical markers and locate these different locations. But now we're gonna go ahead and go to another location, but we're gonna have to drive there. So, but there's another spot where I guess he had another home. All right, so I didn't anticipate coming here. Missouri Model Railroad Museum. I'll have to check this out some other time. We were driving to the next location and there was this lawnmower going, and so we decided to drive around a little bit, and there's a railroad car, and I saw that cabin right there, and I knew it couldn't be anything to do with church history, but I still wanted to drive to it and see what it was. But it turns out that, yeah, it's just right across the railroad right there from the site that we're going to. Let's take a look at this statue right here. Jim Bridger. I feel like I should know who that is. I know that I've heard this name before. Let me know in the comments below what you know about Jim Bridger. Was he one of these like mountain men, or like a frontier person. I know that I've heard the name before. Don't make fun of me. Okay, Chicago Alton Railroad Depot is what that sign says. And here's a cabin. I don't see any signs, but let's just go ahead and go to Boggs' other house. I like that right there, the sign for independence. You know what, no, let's go over here really quick. This is neat. I totally did not anticipate this. Welcome the 1879 Chicago and Alton Depot. You know what? So I looked up a story from the Wilford Woodruff Papers website where after the Salt Lake Temple was dedicated in 1893, later that year, Wilford Woodruff, his counselors, and others, along with the Tabernacle Choir, they went to the World Fair in Chicago, and on their way there they stopped here in Independence, and I'll bet that this is the railroad station that they stopped at. I could totally be wrong, but I would not be surprised. So they stopped by here, they stopped in Independence. They were welcomed by the city. You know, a lot of years had passed by, enough to where, you know, attitudes had changed about the church. But President Wilford Woodruff noted just this huge contrast between the last time he was in Jackson County and now. And they were welcomed by the mayor, and they visited the temple lot, and the choir sang at the temple lot, and then they continued on to Chicago. I think their first stop was actually in Denver, and then Independence. And I also know that they went to St. Louis, and then probably after that, Chicago. Okay, so now we're coming up on Spring Street, which ends here at this like cul-de-sac. There's just that one house right there. It looks like a cozy little property. I actually wouldn't mind living next to a train track, I don't think. Well, maybe not this close. But when I was growing up, when I was in elementary, I would go to my best friend's house and have sleepovers, and they lived relatively close to a railroad, and I loved hearing the trains in the distance. There was just something soothing about it, and I've never really experienced it like that ever since. But the marker is just right over here by this tree. Again, this one is probably the one that you'd be the least likely to come across on your own if you weren't intentionally doing the Mormon Walking Trail tour. Oh great, it looks like the lawnmower's coming straight for us. That's always how it works out, right? So we have both. Okay, let's try this again. So this is plaque number 14, Boggs Home, Lot 131. Governor Boggs issued the 1838 extermination order that led to the expulsion of the Mormons from Missouri in 1842. O.P. Rockwell, which that must be, what's his name, Orrin Porter Rockwell, the bodyguard of Joseph Smith, was accused and acquitted of an assassination attempt at the site. So this is crazy. Not only were these Boggs homes, but you have this associated with Orrin Porter Rockwell, and then the other one was owned by one of the 8 witnesses. So I don't know, it's so interesting. I don't know what else there is to find. You know, at this point I feel like I pretty much know of everything that's here in Independence, except for there's somebody on TikTok that said that there is a display or artifacts at the museum there in Independence, so I may have to track that down. But whatever I find, I'll make sure to make a video about it, and hopefully it'll be a little bit quieter than this one. I'll talk to you guys later.